Today, I will be showing you how to easily make your designs a lot more vibrant in only a few simple steps. I use these steps in pretty much the majority of the work that I create, and a lot of this can also be automated to speed things up in the future if you want to. Obviously, I would recommend to kind of try and test different things out to see what works for you, as these steps are pretty much just guidelines and can be tweaked to your liking. And then obviously once you're happy with the process, you can then automate it, and it just basically changes the images with a click of a button. It's such an easy way to create a potentially quite distinct style that is just unique to yourself, or basically just take your work to the next level and make your designs just stand out a little bit more. If you enjoyed the tutorial, don't forget to leave a like and a comment, as it does massively help my channel to grow, and subscribe to see more of my videos in the future. Now let's get into it. So now jumping into Photoshop, I've picked out an image of Lewandowski after one of the Polish national recent games, as I found a very high resolution picture essentially, and it was quite not too old and still kind of in date in terms of how he looks, etc. And yeah, the details are kind of there on the picture, which is the most important thing, and that's why I've gone for it. And it's quite a nice focus shot on just one subject, and you can really kind of make this image pop and stand out a lot more very, very easily with the 4 steps that I'm about to show you basically. So the first thing that I usually try to do, I just create an adjustment layer with the little drop down down here, color lookup, and then we go to this drop down menu up here and we go to freestrip.look. And immediately, obviously, this makes the image a lot more vibrant and saturated, which I'm not 100% happy with. So I usually try and tone this down a little bit, and then you can do tweaks later on. 40% usually works quite well, and as you can see the before and after, it just helps the colors to stand out a little bit more, and it just brings the image to life slightly. So once that's done, we move on to another adjustment layer. This time we're going to Selective Colour. We go into Colors Whites, and we drag this little bar down here to -100, which essentially brings out all of the highlights that you've got on the image, all the kind of the brightest points that you have, and basically makes them stand out even more. And it creates a very nice stylized look, which I think 100% is a little bit too much. So I think if we go down to about like 80% is just enough. And again, straight away, as you can see, makes it pop. I know we're going to keep using that word quite a lot, and it's a very look down on word in the design community, put it that way, but it does kind of emphasize what's happening here. Step number 3, very quickly, we just create a duplicate of the actual image itself. So Command J or Control J to duplicate it. We then go into Filter, Other, and High Pass, and I usually use the radius of around 10 pixels, but obviously you can try whatever works for you. Press OK, and then we go into the blending mode and we go into Soft Light, and I usually tone this down slightly to about 75%. What this does, it really kind of brings out the edges and the lines in the image itself. As you can see, the before and after, it just makes all the details pop a little bit more. And yeah, just makes it, again, a lot more kind of 3D looking and vibrant in a way. And basically what I've created during this process is all these little steps kind of work really well together. And then obviously once you've got the image after you've done these 4 steps, it really kind of brings everything together, and it makes your image a lot better than it was before. Obviously, these are guidelines, so this might not work 100% for the image that you picked. So it's kind of in the in your hands at that point. You can play around with the different images. I've got quite a very red and warm image. If you're working with something a little bit cooler, obviously you can tweak the values that you're about to see in the camera raw section. But as a guideline, you should be kind of going with this to achieve the look that we've got on the screen. So now that that's done, we're going to jump into camera raw on the main image, not the image of the overlay. So we're going to Filter, Camera Raw, and we're going to jump into Light, and I usually bring the exposure up just a little bit, bring the contrast down, just kind of not overcook the image essentially, as if you bring the contrast up a little bit too much, the dark areas become very, very dark and you lose quite a lot of the details. So bringing this down kind of gets those details back a little bit. With the steps that you're obviously doing during this process, you don't want to lose too much of the details, as the steps can sometimes work against each other. So bringing the contrast down kind of nullifies that, and then we're just going to bring the highlights to about 5. So that, I think that's pretty good. So moving on now into the next drop down, we're going to go into Color, and obviously, as I've said, this is quite a warm image. So what I've done is I've just brought the temperature down by -5 just a little bit, so the image doesn't basically just become orange overall. but I've also brought the vibrancy up by about 10 just to get the colors to stand out a little bit more. So now with that drop down done, I'm going to go into effects. I'm going to bring the texture up just a little bit, as obviously I know we've already done the high pass layer, which brings out the details anyway, but I do kind of like to add a little bit more. Same thing with clarity, but we're going to do about 10 on this one. Again, just to get the details to stand out a little bit more. And then in dehaze, which is a great little function, I'm going to do -5, which is very similar to what we did with the contrast, just to get those details back a little bit in certain areas. Now, moving on, we're going to go to color mixer. What I've basically just done, I've just gone into saturation, and with the skin tones on the image, I just wanted the saturation just to be a little bit more. So I've gone into oranges, and we're going to add 10 value onto this one just to help the skin kind of, again, just be a little bit more vibrant and saturated so it doesn't look too washed out, essentially. Now, moving into detail, we're going to go here, and we're basically just going to bring the sharpening up just a little bit again, just to make those details a lot more vibrant and stand out. All the steps in this might not necessarily make the image more saturated or vibrant, but they all, like I've mentioned, work really well together, and you get a very vibrant, more kind of impactful image at the end of this process, essentially. So it's just little tweaks here and there just to kind of help you with bringing the image to life, essentially. Once the details are done, the last step we're going to do is calibration. And with, again, like I mentioned, with this being a very warm image, we're just going to focus on the red primary mainly and just tweak a few little things here. So we're going to just shift the reds by about 5 and maybe the saturation by about 3 as well, just to get a little bit of a more defined skin tone. Again, obviously, if the image was a little bit cooler, you'd be focusing more on the green and the blue primaries down here to play around. And one thing that you can also add to this process, which I'm not going to do this time, is color grading. You can really play around with the, if I just save this step actually, just so you've got it, and we can go into camera raw again. We can just go into here and go into color grading. If you really want to play around with like the midtones and you want to make them warmer, you can really kind of go in here and kind of tweak the image a little bit further here. Let's say if you make this a little bit brighter as well. That's basically what you get. So that's it, you know, very, very simple, easy steps. If you want to automate this process as well, you can kind of start recording the action itself and basically just go through creating all these layers, save it, and then basically this will run the same process over and over again in whatever image you use in the future, and you will get these results. So just quickly to show you, this is the before, zooming in on his face, and this is the after. So, you know, all the details stand out a lot more. The skin tones are a lot more defined and vibrant. The line work essentially is very clean and a little bit more sharper than it was before. And, you know, obviously all the colors just stand out a lot more. And yeah, it just looks not as washed out, and it really kind of brings it to life. And then once you've done this, you can kind of go onto your design and do whatever else you want. You can cut him out, whatever, or just keep him as it is and play around with the background, etc. But again, this is the before, this is the after, and this is basically the process that I use in 99% of my designs. If you enjoyed this video, it's quite a quick one this time. Obviously do leave a like and a comment, as it does help me out massively. There's going to be more videos coming out very soon, so subscribe if you want to see those on your feed. And I hope to see you all guys again in the next one.